tip for you. Stay out of the music business. There you go.
It smells so clean.
The studio, so I guess we're playing today.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is that where the Mike Strangler
That's where Sid Vicious killed Nancy.
I knew there was some stabbing going on.
I know you wanted me to stay, but I can't ignore the crazy visions of me in LA. I heard that there's a special place where boys and girls can all be queens every single day. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. Here's Santa Monica, I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud, I'm gonna cause a scene. She sees a baby girl, I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club. Oh, mama, hey, I'm just having fun on the stage in my heels. It's where I belong. The Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club. Dolls are on the floor. Lovers in the bathroom and a light outside the door. Black lights and a mirror disco ball. Everything's another reason why I love it all. I think my wicked dreams, the year from Tennessee, is Santa Monica, has been too good to me. Will make my mama proud. I've got a cause a scene. She sees a baby girl. Why does she gotta scream? God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club. Oh, mama, I'm just having fun on the stage in my heels. It's where I belong. Down at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club. Hey!
Hey, the lights are down, the previews are over. It's time for Mark Goes to the Movies, and this one is dedicated for Mark Goes to the Movies #1 listener. This is an episode of stories about my friend Scott. This is producer Scott, as we refer to him on the show, because he is probably the only person I know that actually listens to every episode. My kids, no, don't listen to every episode. I've never heard any feedback at all about the show from them at all. But I know Scott listens to it because he gives plenty of constructive criticism. And I figure if we're gonna do an episode for anybody, it's gonna be about Scott. And it is his birthday yesterday too. And you can only share so many memes back and forth of birthday stuff. I decided to record an episode with some of our adventures. I won't show all of them. One day we'll have to do a recording going into it because we've been friends for quite some time now. I don't know, maybe. See, I know it was like 2012 because 2011, but even before that, it had to be like 2010, 15, 16 years. Isn't I mean, we've been going to Gore concerts for over 15, 16 years. I just know this, so I don't know when exactly this all started. I'll go from the beginning, and hopefully this doesn't get too long. I don't really know how long these episodes are anymore because of the interface that Riverside Studios, where I record the podcast. I don't know how long it goes, so I don't know if it's gonna be a long episode or not. Well, I'll try to go in some of it, and I'll try to be. I'll save some meat on the bone for more episodes because there's a lot. 16. See, we'll go say 16 years now. So I moved up here, guys, yeah, I don't know. I think I was 20. I'm 37 now, so that's 17 years. Moved up here and my parents lived in my stepdad's cousin's house. So they had a house they were staying in, and I guess my cousin Josh moved up here first, and then that was kind of the hook, is that we moved up here, or we visited up here, and Josh was up here, and me and Josh grew up together, and I'll go on that further, but uh, Josh is already living up here, so it was a good hook, line, and sinker. But what really did it was the Roxana community yard sales at the same time, and there was yard sales like every house on every block. There was like a million yard sales, and I was like, "Oh, they do this all the time because there's so many communities around here." I guess this is what she mentioned. So it was an easy decision to be like, "All right, I'll work where they work," and they're like, "Hey, $50 a week is all we ask, and once you start working, and then the rest is yours." So that's what it was, and yeah, we all lived in the basement. We cleaned up the basement, a little section of it, anyways. The basement was full of junk, but yeah, they cleaned up the basement a little bit. I remember there was like, I don't know, TV down there. It was pretty dingy. Like there wasn't any lights. It was not great. But that's where we stayed, and so QPSI. What was what the fuck was it? OHL? Oh, it was Staff Markers where we was working. But there's two different buildings connected to each other. The left side of the building was all like dial stuff. I remember that was a big one, and like stupid shit. Dial was a big one. And then the right side of the building was all Febreze. That's where Scott was, and others, my mom and all that stuff. My mom was telling me about hey, these two guys that you'd be friends with. They like wrestling too, and Scott and Tim. And I was like, all right, mom, that's you shouldn't have your parents introduce you to your friends. That's weird. But they're like, oh yeah, you guys all get along real good. But first I had to make my way over there, which eventually I did get pulled over there to the right side of the building. And they had, at that point, they were doing these like flameless candles where like it was a candle, and they were like um scent stuff around the side of it, or like little shades, I guess. So it's like, yeah, it's like a candle almost. And someone's was to put the lights on this little conveyor belt where these dots were, put them on there, and then someone was to put the shade on there, and then someone was to fold them in there, and then someone folds the box to close it, and then they put it in front of this little code dating thing, puts a date on it, and then someone packs it. And that was the conveyor belt. That was the assembly line. Tim ran that line. The first time I worked, well, I didn't work on that line for maybe a couple weeks in there, so I didn't really get to know these guys. But I got to work in the same building with my mom, at least. My stepdad was at Worldwide Technology. He was already there. That fucking idiot quit that job when he was on the ground floor because he's a moron. But no, Tim ran that line. I met Tim first. Tim was cool. We all liked wrestling. Then we met Scott, and then you're working on the line for 8 hours a day. You start getting into just real good conversations. It's funny shit. The funniest thing that's ever happened to me working at QPSI, the conversation wise, anyways, is I mean, QPSI, you get like the worst of the worst. You get pedophiles, you get alcoholics, drug addicts, shit like that. There was this guy named Derek who I remember being taller than I was. He's like a Craig T. Nelson, but like a homeless Craig T. Nelson, and he had a mustache. Or John C. Riley. He looked like John C. Riley without the hair, and he had like the Craig Nelson haircut. And we were talking about Christmas gifts and what we got, and me and Tim were talking about the Christmas stuff and all the movies we got. And then Derek's like, "You know what I got?" And he pulled up his arm and then showed us some burns He's like, my wife burned me with a cigarette, and it's like, all right, dude, whatever fucking floats your boat, dude. Like, there's so many QPSI stories that would take me a little bit to remember, but there were so many good ones in there. Uh, but no, I mean, the group that started it all was, it was me, Tim, and Scott. Those are your three main ones that, part of the group. All good friends. Eventually, Tim's brother Matt got in the group. Goose, as y'all know, Goose got in the group just because he was like, I remember we were at the lunch table one day. Scott went to go eat his lunch out in his van, but the rest of us sat in the little break room, wherever. One day, I'm fixing to use the bathroom, and you got to walk in this little hallway, and this guy's like mumbling about the water fountain blowing up. I was like, that shit's hilarious. Like, I like weird people, so we invited him back to sit at the table and was asking him questions and stuff, and just like it started off like, hey, what's your favorite Coke or Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, what candy bar, Reese's or Three Musketeers, shit like that. And I guess someone finally paid attention to him, so he like hung around us and never left. But the best Scott memory at work, and I know he's gonna listen to this. I know he'd enjoy remembering this. There was a bomb threat. They had to clear the building out. I don't have a car. Uh, so we all had to get out of the building, and it was crazy because they didn't say it was a bomb threat at the beginning. They thought it was like scurvy, like someone had scurvy, so they had to isolate the building. There's a lot of gross people that work with you. Damn, I'm remembering a flood of stories now. But it was a bomb threat. I didn't have nowhere to go, so I just asked Scott if I could sit in his car. You know, because it was raining too. It was raining and cold. And I remember, yeah, you showed me about the Steel Panther, and you got into Steel Panther and stuff. And no, we ended up going to lunch at White Castle because they said you could leave, but you got to come back. And like that was like one of the best days at work. God, we pulled so many pranks. Like now it's all flooding back to me. The great prank that I really enjoyed thinking about now is there'd be all these alcoholic guys, and they would tell Scott the story. Scott was a QA, so he's got to open up the blisters, make sure the blisters actually sealing around the Febreze oils. And Scott would tell me the story further on back of the line as I was running the line, and then I would go tell the drunk guy like the same story, but like me in it. So the one I remember was this guy was like telling Scott about how his son's new stepdad is like a helicopter pilot. So then Scott would tell me the story, and I'd be like, "Hey man, how was your weekend?" And I would be like, "Oh, yeah, my new stepdad's a helicopter pilot. It's crazy." And then we'd go into a story like that. That was a fun prank. There was a guy named Dwayne. I remember now. It was a white guy and an older black guy. And the white guy had diabetes, and it was like his last day on the line. And like I think he was asking for like signed stuff when he had his gloves, and I was like, "Hey, can I get a signed glove?" And like we went to go sign it, his like fingers were shaking, his hands was like shaking so bad, like from tremors. And it took so long for to get him to sign it. And I was like, all right, don't worry about it, dude. You're good. But I still got it. I don't know where that went. I moved so many times and just got lost. There was he went to the Royal Rumble. He had an I hate Chad Wiley sign, and that went on the Royal Rumble, and it gave it to me, and I put it in my house. Chad Wiley, God, that Chad Wiley probably deserves a whole episode himself. I would love to find that guy again and put him on an episode. I don't even know if that's possible, but that'd be great. Uh, Gosh, there's so many great things. And then, like, I mean, it's just an overall travel. Like, he does all the driving. Like, that's so awesome, dude. We saw Guns N' Roses. Our favorite bands, Guns N' Roses. Like, that's something we have in common. A lot of music interest. But like, yeah, I mean, we saw Guns N' Roses in Nashville together, and that was the first time I saw Guns N' Roses. And it was most of the lineup. I've told the story before where it was like everyone but Izzy. It was in Nashville, and it was like over the field, and just seeing like the fireworks and all that stuff. Man, it was pretty great. But that Nashville trip, was like absolute hell. We used to do conventions together. Like well, so the story is there was this guy named Daryl, and like he'd pick people to go do conventions with. And, like you made it think like he was signing you up, like you worked for him, and he'd be like, just go get this stuff signed for me. And a lot of times they would because they do one per volunteer, and he would have like 5 or 6 volunteers. And then we find out that we can do it on our own. Like we didn't need him for anything, and we did so many of those conventions together. Hopefully, we got more of those in the future. I need to get back out there and start doing those again. That was a lot of fun. Met so many celebrities. We met Alice Cooper together. I mean, that was awesome. Like hang out with him and all that stuff. I remember he was talking about my shoes and stuff. We were meeting all these celebrities together. Just a million stories that you could go in there. I think just overall tremendous friend because we've had friends in that friend group kind of like turn their backs and like go their own ways for like 15, 16 years. Just been a tremendous friend. Him and Goose, like growing up or moving around a lot, you don't get a lot of friends. Like you have cousins, but your cousins are your family. So, but these guys, I consider Goose and Scott family at this point because they ain't got a whole lot of family. The parents are all gone, brothers and sisters all abandoned you. But it's nice to have like 2 great friends. You know, you could have a lot of friends and they'd be just fine. But like to have 2 good ones, you know, Goose has done a lot for me. My car broke down. For like almost an entire year, he drove me back and forth to work. It's late, but to back and forth to work and grocery stores. Scott, I mean, I'd probably be sitting at home way, way more. Like, I like my home. I like staying home. I like being here. I've made my home my little castle. If it wasn't for Scott, I'd probably never leave. But I mean, forces you into situations where you're like, this is worth it, right? It's pretty good. I kind of like anything in St. Louis. He's the guy that I go to. Parking, anything. I'm gonna go to Scott because I think he knows more about it than anybody. Just an overall great friend. And the older you get, the more you realize those things are more important. So again, wish I would have had this done earlier, but the podcast episodes are I won't say super hard to do, but man, it's exhausting. Probably the person I talk to more. Like I don't have I have a girlfriend right now. So Scott gets all the stories. Scott and my cousin Kaylee gets every story that ever happens to me. And all hours of the night too. You know. But great guy. I wish, man, definitely gonna have to do an episode together because he's the one that listens to him, so he deserves to have an episode where he's a guest. But like, we have so many stories we can go through. Thank. All right. So what is this? I think. God damn, what was that one? It was one from Chicago. We're coming back. I want to do one now. We're coming back. I want to say it's from Chicago because that's usually where we go. We also seen the Home Alone house many times and all the Home Alone filming locations. Like, there's everything together, right? But like, we're coming back from Chicago. This is what I remember because it was the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. We do these rest stops, and the rest stops are always interesting. I love them, man. Uh, we're doing these rest stops. It makes me wish I'm missing a trip right now. We're driving on the rest stop, and we stop. And I'm sure everyone knows what a rest stop is. It's basically bathrooms and vending machines and like something about the map. I guess I usually it's Route 66 or some shit, some stupid. But it was no. So you go in there and then like someone had shit so bad, like the worst smelling. Like someone crawled up someone's ass and died. Like you heard the expression, this would happen. And we're pretty sure it was these 2 German guys they were not from this country, and they had that weird accent. God, it was just hilarious. Just like holy shit! Like I'm sorry, you whatever came out of you Like, I don't know if that was painful or not, but like that does not smell normal, dude. Like that was hilarious. God, you used to do wrestling shows when I was still in wrestling. Like, man, we used to have so much fun messing with this guy, Hardcore Andy, who I don't think works at Goodwill anymore. I haven't seen him. It's the news that Scott's gonna get now on this podcast, and instead of that. Uh, God. See, I need like this would be one where Scott would be in here. We have to get him to record an episode with us. So many, and then we had a guy named Jared too. I mean, Jared was really cool. Jared moved on, as people do, and that's the thing. You know, Jared's a good guy, tremendous guy. But like everyone moves on eventually. It was really hard quitting QPSI. I know. Like I wasn't making any money though. I wasn't making shit, and yeah, that was like the hardest part was like leaving Scott and Goose and then going on. But we still, yeah, talk almost every day. Goose can't because I offered Goose some hookers. I was like on these dating sites and I was like, Goose, what about this one? And I think he got pissed and ignored me. But how long did this one go? I don't want to go too long. This is 18 minutes. It's 6 o'clock almost. So that's why I was like, maybe we wait. Maybe we don't go too long. But no, this is Scott. Is a happy birthday. Hope it's real good. Got to do some more trips. Once, I think I got maybe like, God, fuck. I think it's get a Goose on a trip too. I did remember. All right, oh shit. I don't want to go any further. We're gonna do multiple episodes of this one. I saw the one we saw Steel Panther. In was it Normal, Illinois, and we took Goose with us. But there's time that Goose threw up on Scott's shoes. That shit's hilarious. Guys, see, this could be like a 2-hour episode if we really get into it. But we won't. We'll save it for later. We'll save more. There's meat on the bone. But hey, this is Mark. Mark goes to the movies. I'll see you at the movies.